What's up, state champs, and welcome to the second ever webisode of Kicking It with Cashman. Today, I have the great pleasure of being joined by junior Lauren Hayes of Livonia Ladywood. Now, Lauren, you guys just took home a victory today against Farmington Hills Mercy, and you have another game coming up. How do you handle these double headers?
Just like every game, you know, we handle one game at a time, and that's all we have to think about. We can't think, oh, this is doubleheader. We gotta just keep our composure, and we have to stay mentally focused, and we have to say, hey, we got this. We are prepared, and we're leaving nothing behind. And that was our focus in every single game. That is our main focus.
I really envy your stamina, girls. I don't know if I can do this, to be honest. But Lauren, you had quite a season last year. State finals, you subbed in, you had no idea you were coming on, and you guys won. So tell me a little bit more about why you had to sub in, the backstory, and then how it felt.
My backstory, I came off an injury, and my coach put me in to pitch against South Lyon East, and I was struggling, and we lost 14-2 that game, and I wanted to come out of that game. I was like, Coach, like, seriously, take me out of this game. I don't want to be here, and I was just showing, like, lack of focus and everything, and the other team was getting to me, and I came off, and I went back to the outfield. I was very disappointed in myself, and from then on, I just wanted to quit. Like, my focus wasn't there anymore. So
Didn't.
But I
persevered.
Yeah, and I knew. And one day I just woke up and I thought, I gotta help my team.
Yeah.
For some reason, I felt it in my heart and I felt it in my mind. I said, I'm gonna go back out there. I'm gonna give another shot because I do have the potential, and I knew I did. So the semifinal game, playing right field, Bree, she was an ace. She's a perfect pitcher, I think, in my mind. She's very, very good, talented. So when I was out there, and she looked hurt. You could see it in her face. And I mean, the crowd was getting quiet. They're like, oh God, our ace.
It's like that awful moment when you're like, oh my God.
Yes. They're like, oh my gosh, like, she's hurt. And Coach waved me on. And I'm like, oh. Okay.
What was going through your mind at that moment?
I was nervous, but I was very, very focused because it was a really big game. And I knew I had to keep my composure. And the girls were crying. And I was like, they're like, get us out of this. They're nervous. I'm like, as a sophomore.
No pressure. No pressure.
Okay, like, whatever. So I had 2 more outs to go, and I knew I could do it, and I got those 2 girls out. And then the next day, I kept it in my mind. I didn't even think I was pitching the next day. I thought Bree was going to ice her knees. She'll be back on it. And I ended up not happening. She collapsed in warm-ups, and I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice it until I came off the field from warm-ups, and they're like, Bree collapsed. I'm like, no idea.
Oh, by the way,
yep, she collapsed. I had no idea. So, yeah, I was just,
it's very... the state final game, right? This is the final game.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, she was sitting on the block and she was crying. I mean, I started crying a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh, it was so nerve-wracking because she was just a big part of our team. Right. And she had to sit out because she was injured and she couldn't go anymore. It was too much. Right. So, 5 minutes before game time, he says, hey, you're pitching. And I'm like, okay, all right. I mean, I could heads up. And I said, wow, okay. He's like, go down there, throw a bullpen. I was very nervous. I was very, very nervous. No idea. And then, like, I just kind of just went with it. And it's always that first batter. It's always that first batter. Right. That's very nerve-wracking.
Or die moment.
And right after I got that first batter out, I just knew I was locked in. And I was very, very focused. My team was picking me up, and that's all I needed. And we just went all the way with it. Like 1, 2, 3, just got through it. If a girl hit the ball, we were back, mentally focused. Nothing got us down. And
I mean, I'm sure your team was so proud of you. That is quite a story.
Oh, I was proud of them. Definitely.
Yeah, you should be proud of yourself, Lauren. Well, hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more from you guys this year, and you have 2 more years, so I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot out of Lauren in the next 2 years, right?
Yep.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for kicking it with Cashman, Lauren. It was great to get to know you.
Yeah, no
All right.
problem.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.